what's up? My name's Jackie, and today we are talking about Avengers Infinity War. Yes! I saw this a while ago, but way too much going on in my brain to talk about at the time. So, I've collected my thoughts, I've gotten it all together, and I have a lot to say. So, let's not wait or anything, and let's get talking, yes. Oh, also, obviously, this whole video is spoiler-y, full of spoilers, because I'm just gonna talk about everything in the movie. So, if you haven't watched it, definitely go see it. I give it a very high rating. If I'm gonna throw up my cookie dog scale, I would give it 5 cookies, and that was me going into it with very high expectations because everyone who had already seen it was like, it's so good, I want to talk about it. And I was like, don't tell me I haven't seen it. Let's jump right in. I was thinking I would kind of go through this by going through the characters and kind of jumping around in the stories because there's so many things going on that I didn't want to get lost. So let's start with Thor. All right, Thor. Ah, I love him. He is unbelievably handsome and so cool and sassy and funny. Like, I just love Thor. We start off the movie, Thor battling Thanos with the Hulk and Loki and Heimdall, and everyone gets hurt and dies, and it's so upsetting. Loki is brave and sacrifices himself and like tries to stab Thanos, intense and sad and all that jazz, but he's the trickster. He's Loki the trickster. It was very out of character for him to attack in the way that he did. I think he'd be sneakier. He wouldn't just be like, for Asgard, bleh. Obviously Thanos was prepared for attack, so I don't know if he's dead. He's come back from the dead so many times, but he looked so dead. Like, that looked bad. I don't know. We'll see, I guess, but I hope he's alive because Thor needs someone. He has this conversation with Rocket where they're just like, so what about like your dad, your mom, your sister, your brother? Like, they're all dead. But yeah, I love Thor. He definitely gets most badass entrance of the whole movie when he comes down with the huge axe thing to kill Thanos and he's like, bring me Thanos! He goes running and he's like super cool and he doesn't have his eye patch anymore and he becomes lightning and it's like, it was so cool. He looked so cool. He is my favorite Avenger, so let me know down below who your favorite Avenger is. I always love to ask people. If it's like too difficult to choose, I understand. Best entrance award definitely goes to Thor. While I'm on the Thor train, I'm worried so much for his character, like moving forward after what has happened, after the end. Again, this is a spoiler video, so if you haven't seen it, go see it. But the end, how he had the weapon, he went to attack, he had the vendetta from the first scene, and he fails, and he's like, oh, you should have gone for the head, like, okay, and you stabbed him in the chest. Why did that not kill him? Was it something with the Infinity Stones? Because that seemed bad, and if this is the only weapon that could kill him and stuff, I don't get why it had to be his head, or if that would even have done anything, because I mean, that looked bad. And then the end was like, but we'll get there. Moving on, let's talk about the Guardians. Their introduction into the movie was so cool, how we have like the music. It was Rubber Band Man, the song. I've been listening to it non-stop since I've seen the movie. I love like older music too, so it's right up my alley, and it reminds me of the Guardians. I love soundtracks, by the way, if you didn't know that about me. They're singing, they're making so many jokes, it's so funny. I do have a joke section that I plan on getting to, so don't worry, we'll get there. Star-Lord and Drax throughout the whole thing are so funny. They make me laugh so much. Although I have to say, Star-Lord really let me down. He let everyone down when they almost have the gauntlet off with the Infinity Stone. Spider-Man's almost got it off in their big plan, and Star-Lord just gets too mad, too upset by the fact that Gamora is now dead. He loses it and ruins the whole plan. And I love Star-Lord, and you're a person, and I get it, and it's so sad. But like, literally, this is for the whole universe. Like, just hold it in and get the freaking thing off his hand for like 2 seconds. Like, I understood, and I knew he was gonna screw it up. But like, don't screw it up. So that sucked. Okay, tell me if this was just me, or if you guys thought this too. But like, Gamora had no chance. She was like, yeah, I know where one of them is. You gotta kill me. I'm like, she's dust. There's no way she makes it to the end. Oh, no pun intended with the dust thing. There's no way she was gonna make it to the end of the movie. So her death wasn't anything shocking, but I'll get to that too. I felt like I didn't get enough Rocket and his funniness and Groot, but again, that was just, I love the Guardians of the Galaxy. I love the movies. I love their group. So I was just like being needy and I wanted more. So moving along to the Tony, Spider-Man, and Doctor Strange like group. Oh my gosh, Tony has come so far. His character has arced like crazy, obviously. It's been 10 years. It was just so cute to see him in the beginning thing as like, I had a dream that we had a kid, Pepper, like, let's have a kid, like, I'm excited for the future. Like, it was just so cute and sweet. I'm so happy for Tony that he's having this opportunity. Of course, now everything hits the fan by the end of the movie, but we don't know that at the time, so it's really happy. And his relationship with Peter Parker, Spider-Man, is so sweet and cute, and I love it. And their like dynamic is amazing and silly and fun, but like serious. And I support it so much. And then there's Doctor Strange, and he says that line, if it comes down to you guys or the stone, I'm gonna pick the stone and you guys are dead. Then we see him be like, no, please save Tony and I'll give you the stone. And I'm like, excuse me? I heard what you said like hours or days ago, or however long this timeline is. I think that when he had all those visions where he's like all crazy, I think he sees, this is kind of getting into my conspiracies, which I'll talk about at the end. I think that he knows more than he's letting on. Who knows? But I'm suspicious of Doctor Strange. He's cool, he's funny too, he's very intense, and it was interesting. I feel like him and Tony are so similar, and they're so smart, and they're such thinkers. They're a good pair to have, but you know, obviously it doesn't work out great. Okay, Scarlet Witch and Vision. Honestly, I have never really cared too much about them in general. We totally got a different side of Vision and Scarlet Witch. They were so much more involved in this movie, I felt, like as people, like not just as plot points. And I fell in love with those characters and them being together. I really did want to support them and their mission of trying to like find a way out of this and save a life in the Captain America mindset, but also like, come on, you guys should have killed him so long ago. Like, I know it's really sad, but we can save the universe if just one man perishes, which is sad. But Peter Quill had the idea with Gamora. He didn't want to kill her. She said, you need to kill me, and he's like, I will. And when the opportunity arose, he did fire the weapon. He would have done it. And of course there was the bubbles and it didn't work out. I totally understand the love, and I understand where she's coming from and he's coming from, everyone's coming from. We don't want to just sacrifice people to get things done. And that's a similar mindset to Thanos. Obviously one person versus half of the universe is very different, but I understand where the heroes are coming from. He should have just killed him, because then we get to this painful place where it's the last minute. We see Thanos coming like around the corner. There's only one option. She has to kill him. And he's like, you could never hurt me. Like, oh, ow. I was not prepared for that pain and how much their relationship and dynamic like really grew on me. That hurt. And he's coming around the corner. She kills him and it's devastating. And then Thanos is like, who cares? Rewind time. Kill him more painfully. And then boom, it all goes to pieces after that. Also, I just want to mention how Scarlet Witch is really cool. I don't think I understand how awesome her like powers are and everything she does. Like, she beats up everyone. Like, she can take on everyone, these otherworldly beings. Like, she's still holding her own. Like, man, she was really cool. Let's talk about Wakanda. So, the Black Panther crew. So, I felt like I didn't get enough of them, any of them. They were there, obviously. They were cool and badass. There was some fighting in there, but I just didn't get a ton of the Black Panther cast, and I was missing them a little bit, so that was kind of my overall thoughts. And then I kind of felt the same way with Captain America, Steve Rogers' crew, with Black Widow, Bucky Barnes, Falcon. I just felt like I didn't get quite enough, but I understand. There's a million characters that are all important, like being juggled, and I loved how it turned out, so it was okay. I'll just mention this theory really quick. I think in order to fix anything or hopes for the future and all that jazz, it will take Tony's side and Captain America's side coming together. That'll bring that crew more into the works again. Let's talk about Thanos, the bad guy. I was shocked at how much we actually saw him and moving through getting all the stones, which of course it makes sense. I just in my head didn't expect to see him this much and learn about him this much, and actually, like, especially through Gamora, learn about him and like why he is the way he is, why he thinks this. Like, his whole society was destroyed because they wouldn't follow his plan, which of course his plan to wipe out half of them is crazy. And so now that was his mission, to cut the world, the universe in half. That also brings me back to more of the Gamora stuff, how she had no chance. And am I the only one who was like, when they got to that thing and it was like, you have to sacrifice something that means the world to you or you love or whatever it said, like, am I the only one who was like, bye Gamora, you dead? Like, obviously she was gonna die. She doesn't even realize, but I mean, that meant that she meant a lot, if not was loved by Thanos, which is weird because he's so evil. Like, his mind was just weird seeing him also love something. So let's get to the jokes. So these are what I thought were the best jokes, or the only ones that I can remember. I'm sure I'm forgetting classic parts, but I was just thinking of all the things that made me laugh, and this is what I came up with. Okay, all the girls were like fighting and kicking ass. Scarlet Witch takes this big wheel thing and just drives it over him and splats him, and Black Widow gets like some of the blood on her, and she goes, "That was really gross." I was laughing so hard. I've already seen the internet talk about this, but I still have to mention it. When Tony calls one of Thanos' henchmen Squidward, and he's like, "Earth is closed. Like, get out of here, Squidward." The part where Spider-Man is meeting Doctor Strange, he was like, "Oh, hi, I'm Peter." And he's like, "I'm Doctor Strange." And he's like, "Oh, we're using our fake names. I'm Spider-Man." And that reminds me, all the pop culture references between Peter Quill and Peter Parker, Spider-Man and Star-Lord, I thought was so funny. Like when Peter Quill is like, "Oh my gosh, is Footloose still like the best movie of all time?" Spider-Man goes, like it never was. Died laughing. "Where's Gamora? Who's Gamora?" And Drax goes, "Like, I'll do you one better. Why is Gamora?" That made me laugh so hard. Oh, and he had that one line too. Gamora and Peter Quill are having this deep conversation, and Star-Lord is saying, "I'll kill you. Like, I swear on my mom." And then you hear Drax eat like a chip. And they were like, "How long have you been standing there?" And he's like, "Literally hours. I've been invisible." That just... Oh my gosh. When Star-Lord, I think he's talking directly to Thanos, and he says like, "I'm about to blast that nutsack of a chin off your face." Like, I was like, oh my god, that is so good. It's Tony, Doctor Strange, and his like companion, I forget, and then Spider-Man joins in, and they're all fighting Thanos' henchman, and he keeps like talking to Spider-Man, and he's like calling them wizard. He's like, "That's the wizard, go get the wizard." It's so funny. And then when the Hulk couldn't turn into the Hulk, and Tony's like, "You're embarrassing me in front of the wizards." I was like, Tony, like, it's just so funny. I actually really like Bruce Banner, the whole storyline of this movie, like how he couldn't transform, because I think we saw a happier Bruce Banner, even though it was frustrating, especially in scenes where he needed to fight, and I just thought it was funny at times. It was interesting seeing like emotions from the Hulk besides anger, like, because I think he was scared because Thanos just beat the crap out of him right at the beginning of the movie. Getting to the deaths. Obviously, we saw how the movie ended. Thor hits him in the chest, but not the head. I guess that makes all the difference, and Thanos wins. I was shocked. I left this movie. They lost. The good guys lost, and half the universe died. It just got me so good. I was not ready. Oh, the death of Heimdall right at the beginning made me sad, but the first time we see him in this, he's already hurt. So I was sad, but I knew he was gonna die, so I was like not as sad as I would have been if he had like died out of nowhere. Like I said before, Gamora, she didn't really have a chance, and I was kind of frustrated with her. Apparently she would do whatever to not have him get the information, and then he tortures his sister in front of her for like 2 minutes, and she's like, "Here's the information." Like, it's so sad, and I understand everyone not wanting to sacrifice someone, but like the whole universe, like literally half of all the people in the universe will die. Like, just zip it. Vision. He had no chance from the beginning. He like is a stone basically because it was just so sad how he basically had to live it twice, and much worse the second time. Okay, so now to the snap turn to dust deaths. We started with Bucky Barnes. I saw it and I like, what? And then Black Panther. He was like, "Oh, this isn't a place to die," like talking to Badass Girl Warrior, and he evaporates like into dust. I'm gonna throw up. I have the chills right now. He's gone. It was so shocking and upsetting, and I wasn't ready. There's no coming back from that. What? Like Black Panther. And then there was Falcon, and he was looking for Bucky, which was already devastating, and then he dies. That concept had me just going. The idea that not only are Avengers our characters, but people in the whole world now we're going to be walking around looking for their people, never to find them because they turned to dust. Oh, then we had Spider-Man, and this is the one that like really broke me, because he was like, "I'm so scared, help Tony, I don't want to go," and like that killed me. He was so scared, and Tony was like trying to keep him together, put him on the ground, and there's just nothing he could do. He was just gone, and he like looks to Doctor Strange because he's like, "What? You saw the vision, you were supposed to help us." And he was like, "It had to be this way," or something. And then he turns to nothing. Like, I didn't know what to do. I was just so upset, eating my popcorn like a crazy person. And then Star-Lord, Drax, Mantis, they all start to go. Their turn to ash deaths weren't... I was so upset at this point that everything was very upsetting. But it wasn't too bad. They like were just like, "Ah, crap," and then turned to dust, which was very Guardians of them, and I loved them for it. But then Groot and like Rocket, I like don't want to cry, but but I'm so upset. Groot starts to turn to dust, and Rocket's like, oh no. I don't know if you've heard from the internet, but Groot's last word was dad. That relationship between him and Rocket, it's his family. The whole Guardians are his family, and Rocket's his father. Like, that love, and half the universe is gone. Not just our Avengers, but half the universe. And the movie ends. How can this be? I'm so upset right now, just talking about it. So, the theories. Where is this going to go? I feel like, obviously, a lot of these characters have to come back. They're making another Black Panther, I'm pretty sure. They're making another Spider-Man, I'm pretty sure. They're making another Guardians, I'm pretty sure. And all those people are dead. So, I don't know if they're gonna sub other people in, but I doubt it. I think there's gonna be a way for many of the characters to be brought back to life. I don't want these people to be dead. Obviously, that would be the worst, and I want more movies, so I don't want them to be gone. But I also don't want it to take away from what I felt in that last movie and the impact of Avengers Infinity War. It ruins this whole movie a little bit. It takes away a lot of its power if everything can just be rewound and fixed. So are they going to use the Time Stone? I think this is what a lot of people probably are thinking. But it seemed like the Time Stone was very centered on the moment, and who's going to be in charge of wielding that power? That's a very sketchy thing. Would it only bring back the people who turned to ash? Gamora died on some other world, and she was pushed off a cliff. It was a totally different type of death. And Loki, are those people just lost? Let's say they bring everyone back. How are any of our characters going to move on from this? They would have to live with all of these losses. Oh my gosh, that reminded me of one of my favorite jokes. It's kind of a weird tone change. I'm sorry about that. When Thor introduces Groot to Captain America and he goes, meet my friend Tree. And he's like stabbing a bunch of them and he's like, I am Groot. And he goes, I am Steve Rogers. That just got me laughing so hard. It's so funny. I loved it so much. And then there is Captain Marvel. I honestly know very little about this character, but from my understanding, she is dealing with powers beyond anything that we've ever seen, which would make sense since she's Captain Marvel. It's bringing our universe into that, so obviously it's gonna have to be something far beyond what we've seen. I don't really know how that will work, but I'm sure she will play a large part in Avengers, right? I just hope her coming in, she's not like, I have the power to bring people back to life, like no problem. Like, I just don't want anything to be too easy. Nothing is ever a concern. What's the point of all these superheroes? I just hope our superhero movies aren't going anywhere. I guess that is it. This video could be so freaking long. Let me know who your favorite Marvel character is if you can pick. Please let me know. If you can't, that's fine too. We can talk about it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please be sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you don't, that's okay. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon so you'll be notified as to when I post new videos. And yeah, thank you guys again so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!